There we go. So how I became a PI, my first wife, she was acting really strange. And so I got her cell phone and I looked at the phone records and I found some phone numbers and did some just searching on my own and figured out who the guy was. I went to confront him. He was a really big, tall guy, hit me in the chest. His wife came in and screamed at him, and the whole thing went south from there. Unfortunately, I found out that I was really good at finding information, and so that's how I started into this career. I'm board certified as an expert in cyber investigations, and I studied with the McAfee Institute and also Intel Techniques under Michael Bazel, who pronounce it differently. But he has incredible books and materials and an online site, IntelliTechniques, where you can learn. I studied about a year. I still study all the time because one of the things you're going to learn is, and I'm jumping ahead on my slides, I have several websites that are already open in my browser that we're going to look at. And one of the things about open source intelligence is tools change all the time. One day they work and the next day they don't. So I've got a couple of tools that's why I'm late, because I was trying to get them to work. And so there was a little issue with it. Anyway, my continuing credentials, I'm part of InfraGard, which is through the Federal Bureau of Investigations Partnership for Protection. So they vet individuals who help safeguard, if they're needed to help safeguard the country. I've served as a missionary. I've been in 42 countries. We've helped provide over 1 million meals in Honduras. I love that. That's my calling. That's my purpose in life. My PI is my job. It's how I make a living. And I enjoy truth in ministry, and truth in investigations. Because at the end of the day, friends, that's what it's all about, finding truth. And that's what we do together. So I've also enjoyed a professional acting career, which I don't do anymore, and I regret. I don't have time for it. But I've been on a soap opera and a bunch of movies. I played a priest and TV commercials and all that fun stuff. So that's my background. I've had a fun life, traveling the world, eating foods, learning cultures, learning people. Excuse me. That's what we do. We are people readers. Real world success using open source intelligence. Just a couple of our success stories. I found a missing girl, 14-year-old girl, in 3 hours. She was missing for a week just through using some of these techniques. Juror intelligence. We deliver a particular report, which is really great. It's a biography of jurors. A lot of PIs buy it from us, resell it. Excuse me. I've had a little cold, sorry, my voice. And we helped. It was a $200 million tort case in Oklahoma. They got a very favorable verdict, which was $2 million. So that's all the defense had to pay, or the insurance company. And then hundreds of millions of dollars in claims by combining surveillance with advanced OSINT techniques. Now, a lot of you do surveillance. I'm sure, raise your hand, you probably do. I think a lot of surveillance has to do with what we do before we go out. You can go to ChatGPT, for example, put in an address. And that's not in the seminar. I'm just adding this. You go into ChatGPT and say, here's an address. Tell me about this neighborhood. Tell me the exits. Tell me the entrance. Where are the highways? Where are the supermarkets? And it'll give you a lot of information, especially that works great in Oklahoma. It's a rural town, some places. So you can get a lot of open source intelligence, OSINT information, just using ChatGPT. You're not revealing anything sensitive. You're just asking, tell me about this neighborhood. So it's important to do pre-surveillance. Go to Google Maps, look at addresses, etc. And you probably know a lot of those things. Disclaimer. Okay, then we'll get into the meat. These are amazing techniques. They're very powerful. They're used obviously by investigators, law enforcement, authorities, and also hackers and nefarious people with malintent. And that's not us. At all, right, Mike? We're not like that. We're using it for good purposes to bring answers to our clients. Truth means a lot to me in my business. I want to get results, and if you have the right tools, you can get better results. If you get better results, your clients are happy, and you make more money. You have to use these tools responsible, never for, don't go looking for your ex-girlfriend because you want to stalk her, God forbid, etc. We're all intelligent professionals. Okay, I have to say that. For those of you who may not know what OSINT is, open source intelligence, publicly available, legally accessible, actionable intelligence. That's what it is. Finding information online that's publicly available and using it and turning it into intelligence. That's the secret too. It's not like, okay, for example, let me say something to you guys. Everybody doing okay so far? Am I talking too fast? Am I right? Some people do this, and I discourage you if you do this. If a person wants a background investigation, you get your comprehensive report from IDI Core or Tracers, and then you put your logo on it, send it to them, and sell them that for $250. Don't do that. That's not open source intelligence. There's no interpretation of that document. It doesn't mean anything. So you've got to take that intelligence and coordinate it and collaborate it with other intelligence so it has meaning for the client. And I promise you, one of the things I believe, as I mentioned, truth and excellence, absolute excellence. A very successful businessman told me years ago, Michael, everything you do must be done with excellence. Every report, every website, everything is excellent, top notch. Your business will thrive and succeed. And that is a piece of advice that is, I can't tell you, I hire PIs around the country. Pat and I talked about this, remember, on the airplane. And they turn in reports that are horrible, video that's all over the place. Don't do that. That's not professional. You're better than that. You're tremendous people. Let's make it happen good. All right. So let's get into it. Now I got to figure out, how do I get to the website and get to these sites? Now, Mike, let me ask you a question. Okay, we're 11 minutes in, so we're doing great. You're going to make this seminar, are you going to make this PowerPoint available to everybody, or send me a list and I'll email it to them?
Yeah, that's the intent, is if somebody would like it, I'll compile a list and get it to you, and then you provide what you would like to based on your slide deck.
Perfect, because I can send this whole thing out. And these links are live. So I've designed it that way so that you click on it, you can save these particular pages, and you just click on it, takes you right to the website, and then you can save the information in your website. Let me see, can you see this page that I just pulled up? Okay, I want to show you something. Do you see down here, guys, all these little boxes? AL, BIS, that's my music file, photos, courts, auto, archives, people, Michael Basil's information, open source intelligence. I have all these little folders. When I need to do an investigation on an automobile, I'm going to go to auto. I'm going to look up tag numbers. I'm going to look up all kinds of sources that I've saved and categorized. So you can do this in Chrome. I like Firefox. Most people use Chrome. It has better features, but I'm just so used to Firefox. So I don't know if you can do this. But like, I've got lots of information from experts on open source intelligence, photos, email, dating, data. That's all Gmail. So if I want to do a street view on something, let me get out of here so I don't mess up one of these deals here. Do you guys know this site right here? Instant Street View. It's a gold mine. It's an absolute gold mine. So you put an address in here, 123, let's see, whatever this is, this street here. Okay, you have to do surveillance, say this was a bunch of houses. I wish I could find a better example. Okay, you've got to go do surveillance at this club or this street, and you can figure out just by looking around where you can, I can set up in this parking lot. I can set up down here in the street. So this is it's not in the seminar, but I'm adding it, instantstreetview.com. So when you want to do surveillance, you put the address in, and you can get open source intelligence about that neighborhood, about that house, and you can figure out, well, I don't, I want to park. I can't park over here, but I can figure out where else I can park. Make sense? Okay, so back to where we were. These are tremendous sites. I'm going to give you a few more as we go through this. A lot of great information. So, username investigation tools. Lunar queries 169 platforms. So, when you're doing surveillance, which a lot of us do, we want information. You want to find the guy's Facebook, his TikTok. You want photos of what he looks like. So you use these websites to search. Now, somebody raised their hand and give me a name. We can put an email, a name, or a username. And let's see what kind. Now, I was having trouble with this early. So put it in the chat. I can't see the chat. Where is the chat? I don't know how to see it. Or Mike, maybe you can give me one, or somebody else can open up their mic and just give me an address.
Yeah. So, how about a person named Jackie George? Jackie IE. Yeah, JACIE George. Yep. There you go.
Makes any difference with capitals, but let's just see what it gives us. Background check, criminal. So it's giving us a whole bunch of pages where it's putting in that name as the user portion, the username portion of these social media accounts. So if this was actually somebody's username, and you come over here, Spokio is a paid site. I don't like it. It used to be good. They're really expensive. And they don't get the problem with some of these online sites like Spokio and truthfinder.com and all that is they give you a lot of false positives and then you go down the rabbit holes. So like, you can click on Instagram and just see if the guy has a profile. So there is let's say this is your subject. You've just found Jackie George. Is that your subject, Mike? No. Okay. But it gives you tremendous amount of sites to check to see if that individual has an account. Okay, that's one. The second one we're going to look at is this is the OSINT Vault. Now, this was giving me a hard time today. It was not working. So we're going to skip that for now. Maybe if we have time, we'll come back to it. But this thing used to be incredible. You'd put a name in there and it would give you just a ton of information. I'm going to click on the name that I put in there, but something's not working. Okay, so let's go to the third one, which is name, which is behind the email. I've got this out of order, I think. Hold on, user search I have next. Hold on a second. Behind, where did you go? Maybe I didn't click on it. Okay, let's go to behind the email. You guys see that? So give me an email that you might know. Patty, why don't you give me an email? You there?
So what may happen is Pat is at our conference. We're both at that conference. She's probably visiting right now with an attorney or group members that are meeting at our table. So she's got both roles today.
All right. You want to give me an email, Mike, that you might know of that was a client?
Yeah. So it's I'll give you mine. I'm just curious how mine will pop up. Ready?
Yep.
MYKROSSY@gmail. That should be me. I always like searching me, see what happens.
So it tells you there's 3 accounts, 5 briefs, 2 pictures, 1 link, 1 phone number.
Okay.
From behindtheemail.com. Data breach.
Yep.
Jody Sullivan. Don't know.
That's my wife.
So, okay. So now it's giving you some open source intelligence to family members. And apparently you have a Microsoft account.
Yep.
There's a data breach in Microsoft.
Yep.
First, this email breach was seen in 2019.
Yep.
So it gives you some information that you can click on. So, for example, you gave a shout out to Greens Heating and Air. Is that correct? Is that
Yes.
you?
Yes.
So this tells me, oh, it's in Spanish because I've got my VPN set to another country. Otherwise, it would be in so this tells us places you visit, Mike.
Yep.
Now I have an idea where you live. I know you
Yep.
live in Jersey. I can look at the zip code and I can
Yep.
get a general idea of where you go to eat or what you do. So
Yep.
we do the breach report. Sometimes I'll have a photograph of the person's face. It's a lot of information here, guys, just for free.
Yep.
And I click on all these because it'll take too much time. Okay, so let me stop right here. Before we continue, are there any questions that anybody wants to ask at this point? I'm trying to cover a lot of material. I'm probably talking fast. And let me stop. If you do, just turn on your mic and speak because I can't see everybody.
Hey, Mike, I have a question real quick. You were talking about instantstreetview.com. How do you think that compares to Google Maps when you go to the Street View? Is there any differences between them?
So I do use both, and that's a great question. I like Instant Street View because it can get me on the street and I can move around on the street. Google Maps typically gives you a satellite view, or there's some more limitations sometimes. But I really like Street View because I can go up and down the streets very easily and find my way around and say, oh, this is a great place to set up, or this tells me about the neighborhood. So that's why I use both. And again, it's a great question because I think in our industry, we need a multiplicity of tools, not just one tool that limits us. Hope that answers your question. Any other questions? Go ahead and shout out and turn your mic off or on, and I'll answer if I can. If not, let's go on. Okay, so the next one we're looking at here is reverse revealer. Where is my revealer? My things got out of order somehow. Sorry about that. Let's check hack.io. So this site just basically tells you if your email was hacked. It doesn't give you a lot of information. This is a free, free portion. There's a pricing portion. There's lots of email databases that will provide breach data like HackCheck and Dehashed and Sunbase. They have a free element, Sunbase does not. And basically what they'll do is a lot of times they give you the username associated with it. They'll give you, or an email, depending what information you put in. Sometimes there's a phone number, sometimes there's an address, and many times there's links to the sites that they're on. So one of the embarrassing things that happens to some of the searches that we do, we just did one. This guy's got a whole bunch of X-rated sites. We did an investigation on him, and we found a whole bunch of paid based on breach data. So now you're really finding out information. And if you're doing a domestic case and the wife's cheating, and you find, because women are doing this all over the place now too, you find all these sites, you send it to your client, well, that person's going to have to capitulate in their negotiations probably because they're not going to want to be embarrassed. So, okay, so let's look at, I wonder why these are jumping around, but I had them in order. So let's come back over. User search is another really cool site. So you can put in, let's see, what does it allow us to do? You can put in, anything. Joe Smith, probably bring back a lot of information. So it finds profiles on social media, and now you can get information on your particular subject. that you now, let's say this is our real Joe Smith. Now you've got a photo. Also, if you don't know, you can right click, save image as. Now you've got the image because you always want to collect those images. Now, BuzzFeed gives me some more information. Well, look at this, and I haven't paid for anything yet. I can click on Twitter, and there's nothing there, but maybe there might be something on Facebook. And there's his Facebook page. So anyway, what I'm basically trying to show you is these sites will give you a tremendous amount of information and a tremendous amount of leads into what you're looking for. So we've done these. Let's go over to name check. I think we did name check, or did we not? Where are you, name check? Oh, I see what happened, guys. Sorry about this. Now I know what happened. There's so many windows open that here we go. All right. Name check. This site I was having a lot of trouble with. The CAPTCHA was not working. This is a username from one of my actual cases. And we did a dating site search on this lady and found out she's a porn star, unfortunately. I didn't have to do that. Thank God. I don't want to look at that stuff. But anyway, this site for some reason is not working. It's acting really goofy. So now we want name check. Now we want to look at what's my name.app. All right, here we go. Now this is a great site. What's my name.app. Do any of you know this or are you familiar with this particular site at all? This is so good. This was built by somebody. Now, I just put in Danny DeVito before I started. Now, there are filters in here, okay? It will search all of these sites, tons of them. Let's say you're just looking for gaming. You can select gaming, or you're looking for some archived information. Now, all exclude. This is pornography. NS, I don't know what it stands for, but if it's included, it's going to search everything. So now you got to confirm buckets. Now I'm going to show you a little trick, guys, if you're not familiar with this, if it works. Do you see this little deal down here? You can get an audio puzzle.
Because it would be
Type one of the two following words spoken by me. Opponent.
Porn may be called transcendental philosophy
Result.
and really existing.
So now you don't have, you know how you fill out a CAPTCHA and you got to hats 4, 5, 6 times, do the bicycle 900 times, and it's a waste of time? Go to the audio feature, click on it, and sometimes it'll just say, type the words, one of the words you hear. Could be the word the. It's simple and fast. Okay, so that's another really good piece of information that, you know, I just learned by trial and error. Now look at all the tons of information this is found on Danny DeVito. Tons and tons and tons. All these sites, and you can move this, so we can click and see. Let's see what it brings up. Now this probably is not him, but probably not bodybuilder. Let's see what we find here. Danny DeVito projects, probably someone else. But it gives you tons and tons of leads for finding an individual. So basically, that's not him either. But let's say you have the real email or username of your target. You're going to go do surveillance, or you need to do some social media for your client. You're going to put that information in here, and it's going to search over, what is it, 700 amount? I think it's 700 some odd sites. I forget, but it's a ton. Yeah, what's my name? 700 plus sites that it's searching. And that's a lot. And if you, again, you can just pick political. Let's see what it gives us. I'll just do the handbags just to see if we can do it quicker. There's Danny DeVito right there on Twitter. So now we've got a picture of our subject. Remember, right click. Save that. Copy will not work. Save as image. Image as, you have to do that. So we have a picture. We have what his job is. And if we go to IDMB, we can see all the movies he's done. So this gives you all of his projects, etc., and a lot of information. Now, obviously, he's a celebrity. I chose him on purpose because I don't want to find something nefarious or hopefully terrible. But there's all kinds of information here that you can find about Danny DeVito. And you can click on, look at it, look at the lists and all the information here. There's tons and tons of stuff. Now, that won't be the same on every person. But again, part of what you want to do is you want to try to look for, you don't necessarily want to search for all of them because you're going to you might get 250 results, and that's too many results. So you have the opportunity to just check and see what may come up. And we won't click on any sites if they're bad, but it's bringing up some of the same information. But you guys get the idea, right? You understand how this works. All right. So now we want to look at simple login. It should be, come here, simple login. Hold on, guys. Technology. Here we go. Back to my page. It should be here. Now it's out of order. Sorry about that. I had this all organized. Okay, let me show you this site. Okay, this is, if you're a private investigator, you need burner emails when you're looking for information. I cannot send out Michael at powerhouseinvestigations.com when I'm using a pretext to find somebody's brother. So I have a whole bunch of emails. I have miles.monroe@gmx.com. I have Larry Combs. I have all these names that I use when I'm trying to find information, and I don't use my domain. So this, you can set up, they have a pricing, but they have a free one. You can set up a free, unlimited, 10 aliases email. And you need that as a private investigator when you are trying to obtain information by pretext. As long as it's legal, you can't say, you know, I'm from the Bank of America and we have $27,462 for Bill Smith and we can't find his phone number, but there are pretexts. Then also, sometimes I'll use it for other purposes, even as a direct contact. I also use it to sign up for things. And so, guys, listen, don't use your regular personal emails when you sign up for stuff online. Do you know why? Because we've already talked about breach data. That stuff gets breached all the time, and then somebody can find your information. So when I sign up on Google or I sign up on something, whatever it is, or I buy something, I use burner emails. Also, just FYI, it's not part of the seminar, but it's really important information that comes to my mind. I have several credit cards with Chase. They have virtual cards. So you go to your credit card company and ask them, do you have virtual cards? And all I have to do is go online. Let's say I want to buy something and I don't, you know how they, $4.99, and then after 30 days, you're going to charge you $24.95, and you can't get them to stop. So I'll set up a virtual card at $25. You can set up the term at 1 year, 6 months, whatever you want. You set the limit, the daily limit. I pay for the $4.99 and then I delete the card and they can't charge you anymore. So so stealth emails, and you can use virtual credit cards to buy reports. Like you might find something you really need it. It's $3, but you don't want to be on a list. Use a virtual card. Hopefully that is good information to you. So get yourself some burner emails. I don't like using Yahoo, Hotmail. They're a pain in the neck. Another piece of information. A lot of PIs use what's the Gmail platform, the Google platform? What's it called? Where you share docs and all that stuff. Then my advice: stay away from anything Gmail. They keep everything you do. They copy. They have a record of everything. It shouldn't be able to do that, but Google keeps everything. I don't use Google Docs. I don't use Google products at all, period. I hate that. If you need to send a large file, you can use WeTransfer or Dropbox, et cetera, et cetera. So that's good side information. Is that okay? How are we doing on time? 12:30. Should I stop and probably ask if anybody has any questions at this point?
So, just as we'll be coming up to the 15-minute warning here in about 4 minutes. So
Okay.
I'll give it to you early.
Tell me. All right, good. That's good. Anybody have any questions so far? You want to turn your mic off and say anything? If not, we will.
And Mike, I'm monitoring chat, and we've got some really good positive conversations piggybacking on your recommendations. So we're good. No questions yet, though.
Good. I didn't even look at chat, forgot all about it. So thank you for telling me. And I'm so glad. I really trust that this is super helpful to you. As I said, I wanted to give you real tools that you can use, not 45 minutes of stories about what I've done, 2 minutes of stories about what I've done. I want to make you successful. That's what I'm in business for. That's what idreveal.com is, by the way. We have PIs all over the country. Hire us. We do all the work. We white label the reports. We charge you whatever, $50, $150. You sell it. I've got a client in California. We charge $249 for our deep dive social media intel dossier. He charges $995. It's unbelievable. So our model is not price, it's volume. You charge whatever you want, you make a lot of money, and we do all the work. That's the model of ID Reveal. We're middlemen, and it's worked really, really well. Okay, let's talk a little bit about email OSINT, open source intelligence using email. Now, email OSINT, if I can get to my right pages, here we go, in the right place. Email OSINT, come here, baby. All right, I thought I had one in here. Let's just try John O. Smith at gmail.com. Guys, hold on a second. I'm going to turn the air conditioner down. It's a little warm in here. Okay, we're back. All right, so email osint.org. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. 39 accounts found. Now, of course, this is Joe Smith. It's a common name. I get that. But the point is, the information that's available, that's free, that will help you in your investigations and save you time. That's the magic piece. So we've got names, usernames, profiles, profile links, different types of usernames, activity, LinkedIn account, AliExpress. AliExpress is a place where people buy things from China, very, very cheap, but the Chinese scrape your information when you use AliExpress, by the way. So use a burner email and use a temporary credit card if you don't want it hacked.
So,
tell me, Mike.
Mike, I used that and I put in your email, osint.org, and I put my email in, and it is telling me where my data breach, because you remember the 2019.
Yes.
It was mgmresorts.com, and I remember them sending me the email, but it has it here on email.org, and that is accurate information. It did have a data breach, and I think it's kind of ironic because the beauty of this information is that that data breach, if I were searching for somebody, shows my phone number. Now, I have my phone number out there because I work, but I really like the fact that on a data breach, you might have that one phone number that you can't find
Yes.
anywhere else. So, very, very useful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that comment, Mike. I very much appreciate it. And again, just to reiterate, get yourself a whole bunch of temporary emails. Get yourself a bunch of, you can get burner phone numbers. And when you need to make calls, I think Burner is an app. I've used that. There's a lot of them out there. Don't use your real information at Target, anywhere. I mean, this seminar is not about that, about personal protection. But I need to bring that up because I have training in it as well. And you don't want to get burned, and you don't want some crazy client who you worked on and found the wife or the husband cheating coming after you in your house. You don't want your personal information online. I have a P.O. box for my business, and also I have a lot of fake ID information online about me, which has been done purposely. That's another seminar. Okay, so there's just a ton of leads. We won't go through this, but you get the point. That's what I wanted to try to do, to show you the information. So what's our next one? Intel base. Now we did this. Where are you? Done this. Behind the email. Hold on. Where's Intel base? Oh, it's gonna happen. Somehow I had all these in order and I don't know what happened. Okay. This is another site that you can use. Make this a little small. Where you can put in information and look up, again, breach data, et cetera, et cetera. So I won't spend too much time on that. Let me find my Intel base link. Where are you? We've looked at this, so we haven't come to that yet. Here, let's come up over here. This is an incredible site. This is Michael Basil. Okay, I'm going to skip around a little bit because we don't have a lot of time. This is inteltechniques.com tools. Okay, Michael Basil created this. This is where you can buy his books. If you really want to learn about OSINT and spend money and a year and take the online training, it's amazing stuff that you can find. And I'm just scratching the surface, guys. But let's say you want to do email investigations, or you want to look on search engines, and you've got your subject is Joey Toro. I don't know. That sounds like or Toro. I don't know. I'm trying to find a name that might be. Just try that. It may not be anything like that. Okay. And there is a Joey Epstein. So you can put in this name, populate, and check all of these sites for that person. Now, there's also Tor. Let me tell you what Tor is. Tor is the dark web. The dark web is not bad. It is not illegal to go on the dark web. The way you go on the dark web is you have to download the Tor browser, which you can find when you search. Now, there are tons of illegal things in the Tor browser. There's unmentionable stuff that I won't say. You can hire hitmen. You can find credit cards and money that you can buy and all kinds of crazy things. But if you're logged into the dark web or the Tor browser, you can click these and it will see if you can find that person or email or username or anything on the dark web. You can put anything in here. I've used this not just for memes. You can have email open source intelligence, the same thing. You have all of these sites that are tremendous. You have domain names. If you're doing an investigation on a business or on a domain, it's all built for you. You don't have to do anything but add the information, hit populate, but you have to click on them individually. That's the only thing. Documents. Now, this is unbelievable. Let's say you want to find NASA secrets. I don't know what's going to come up. I have no idea. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to look for any document called NASA secrets. Let's just do launches, which I spelled wrong. It'll find any document that's a PDF, space food. It'll find anything that is a document. It'll look for it because it's already putting in what's called a Google Dork. It's a search operator. It's all done for you. That's another seminar, but you don't need to know about that. It's doing it for you.
Hey, Mike, we do have, I believe Maris with Argia Investigations has a question.
Tell me.
Yeah, thanks for all of this. This is really helpful. I had a question about the social media searches and the dark web searches through his website. Are those anonymized when you use them?
Yeah, no one's gonna know on any of these sites. That's a great question, by the way. Nobody is going to know that you are searching them on any of these platforms. They all are anonymous because basically you're putting in information into a website that has APIs or they're scraping multiple websites for information and just pulling that info. That's it. That person is not being pinged or sent an email that says, hey, we checked your email out. No, not at all. Great question. Any others?
Thanks.
Okay. So I showed you Intel Technique tools. OSINT framework is similar to that site. It's the same kind of an idea. It's another great, incredible platform where it has everything built in. You just click on the link and it tells you all these places you can go to check your phone number that you're looking up. Now, again, some of them are premium, some of them are free. Spy Dialer is kind of a cool thing to use. But this is another tremendous site. Again, in the interest of time, I won't give you any examples, but you've got these websites and you can play around with them. Smart background checks, if you've never seen that, go back here. This is simple, free, and it didn't open up. Okay, it's because of my VPN. Search People Free is a great little website to find information. Hold on. So, and this is a free website. It has a paid component, but you don't need it. So you can put a person's name, their last name, city and state, and search. You can search by phone, address, location, or email. And it's going to return a ton of information that's free. It may give you partial emails, but if you have a partial email and you find the other part of it on another website, that's what these tools do. Again, to reiterate, that's why you want to use multiple tools to do all this. So to get the deep information that you're looking for. So let me skip to the next page. These are browser add-ons, okay? Now, you can click this later, and basically you click here, and it'll give you, there's all kind of bookmarklets that you can add to your web browser to do all types of research. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything. This is an OSINT resource, these are OSINT resource lists. So I think we're probably getting toward the end. I could give you some more examples, but I think we need to have a little bit of time for discussion, et cetera, so that I can answer some questions and help out here. Is that
So,
fair? Good?
yeah.
Tell me.
So, Mike, I'll start with the questions. Certainly, you've compiled really large lists. Sometimes, because we're a network of investigators, we have other open source. How do you develop your lists and how do you keep them relevant? And then how do you share updated? So, let's say 2 weeks from now, you find a link that really works well.
Right.
What's your way of sharing it as you have here, and how's a good way we can share our stuff with you without clogging your inbox and clogging ours?
Sure.
But certainly these tools are terrific and we appreciate.
Absolutely. It's been a great pleasure for me. So again, as I said in the beginning, some tools come and go all the time, Mike. And one day they work and you click on it, the next day it's down because it no longer, its API, the system in the background no longer works to get the information. So that's the first part. The second part is I'm always looking for seminars online. I'm always searching open source intelligence 2026 seminars, OSINT information. I'm always looking and learning and reading. And every time Michael Basil produces a new book, which is about every year, they're pretty thick, I start going through it, and then I start to compile these tools, which I keep in here. Remember, I mentioned about these little tabs that you can create. So, I've got OSINT for Canada, for example, and I do some investigations in Canada, and I need to find information. I need to find a license plate. I need 411. I need to find somebody's address.
So,
got source intelligence
yep.
for dating apps, etc.
We got a couple of questions. First, we'll go with a good one. I think we're all thinking it. Lana is asking, you can export your bookmarks to a file, and would that be something if we gave you a list? We could get an export of all those great bookmarks you have that use so that we can also learn from those great places like the Canada, because your slide deck is terrific, but it looks like it's scratching the surface. Is that something that if I sent you, everybody compile the list and I send you one list, you could help us with?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
And several years developing.
Okay. Yeah, fair. That was one of the questions. The other one is Marissa again. Marissa, if you want to go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, I can understand that sentiment. It's a lot of work. I wanted to ask if you have any recommendations for social media scraping services, because we used to use Scope Now Analyst Search, and they basically up their fees, and it's ridiculously expensive. And sometimes you need a place that's certified for court. They don't always, allow investigators in court to scrape themselves. What's a service that you use for that?
Okay, so that's a very good question, and I'm going to show you something quickly. Just have to find it. Okay, there we go. So our company, can you guys see this? We do this. This is one of our services, social media investigations. We provide a very comprehensive report. We white label it for our clients, and we charge $249. And our clients sell it for $500 and up. It's not just social media, but it has a summary of findings. It has information about the individual, where they've lived, their relationships, all their businesses, online articles. It's really a deep dive into the background. Court cases. I mean, some of our clients buy this and sell it as a background report for $1,000 because it's so detailed. And all the links are live. And then you mentioned court, okay? So we have, this is the admissible document, and all this information back here, this is all the information that's scraped. And this shows where it came from. So it's all clickable. You can click on these links. It'll take you to the websites and show you where this document where it came from. So anyway, that's a part of the service we sell. Now, I don't know what Scope Now costs, I think you said Scope now, or you said,
Yeah, they changed their pricing model now. It's like thousands of dollars, many thousands of dollars a year. But like for example, if there's a case where you need to capture YouTube videos or Instagram because there's a fear that the subject is going to take them down,
yes.
um, is that something that you will do or
Yeah,
that your firm does?
yeah, you have got to have the tools for them. And no, I get it. I mean, Scope now's been around for a long time. Their report is good. Not to say anything negative about it, but what I found when I bought them, because I buy them from time to time. I didn't know that I heard their prices had gone up, but there's a lot of false positives, and that's a problem. And then you don't know what's good information and what isn't. And that's no good for a private investigator.
Yeah.
So, there's different kinds of services out there that provide these reports. But again, my position, as I said earlier, is I want to find the truth, and it needs to be excellent. And that's why we've produced this particular product. And actually, we've enhanced it beyond this. We have other parts to it that we put with the report now to provide for our clients. We have a portal on our website. If you go to idreveal.com, and there's a yellow button on the top of the website, there's a portal now where you just go and click and order whatever you want. You just put in the information. You can order juror intel reports, social media investigations. And again, our model has been low price and volume and excellence and quality. And we have clients all over the country. Now, there's a ton of tools. You asked for all those links. If you had all those links, after a while, you'd go bananas trying to use them all because there's so many of them. And there's some of them are really specialized. And then there's a whole nother level of tools through Python and Maltego and Spiderfoot and all that's a whole nother world. And Python and all that is really difficult to learn. And we have those tools, they're expensive. And that's a whole nother way that we're able to get information because we're doing it in volume. I hope that answers your question.
Yep, it was good. And Mike, we're coming to the final few minutes, and I wanted to first of all say thank you for sharing this with us. I think that anytime you can see these kind of places to go get this information, it's free, but it also helps us deep dive. We can cross-check the information we find with our services that we pay. We can network together and be better investigators. I think anytime that happens, that's a great thing. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for giving the time. And then everybody, you had great questions. Just so that you know, the next steps, everybody kind of has given me some emails, so I'm going to save the chat and I will compile the list of emails. And then, Mike, I'll send those to you. That networks you with our group. So you may develop your own networks from our relationships here. You certainly have ours. And then also it will allow folks to, get the slide deck that we can see some of these things. I think follow-up story would be great if you guys start using these and have some success. I think we should share this and then give Mike the feedback of how much it helped us, because I certainly I think it will. And with that, Mike, again, I appreciate it. That's our next steps. I'll get that chat, and then you and I certainly will stay in contact, and everybody else. Pat, I see that you're here, and I look like nobody's at your booth. Do you want to finish up and say your words? I'm gonna go to mute. And nope, somebody just grabbed her at the table. So it looks like with that, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. And Mike, thank you so much.